an old lady asked me, she was like, where does it all go? And when she said, where does it all go? I swear to you, I just crumbled in front. I just started crying. People will put roles on their pets, like, you know, I get that pets are amazing, animals are amazing, but there is a sort of thing where, are we doing what's in their interest, or are we doing it for our own?
It's definitely ours. We're
100%.
selfish human beings.
Exactly.
Let's be honest. And also, I suppose, like my generation, for example, I didn't create having pets. They've always been around. So, but actually hearing what you're saying, like, yeah, I'm actually being very selfish. I am.
And it's until you can, and you know what? That's a good.
I'm being selfish.
I'm glad that you can say it out loud, because it's hard for me to say it loud. Like, I'm glad you made a great step in therapy.
Yeah, I am. But the reason why I've not got one yet is because I know I can't do the full commitment. So that's why I've not got one right now, because I know I'm not going to be home every single day to be walking. And some days I don't want to walk the dog.
Fair.
And I know that about myself.
Yeah.
So I'm just waiting until that time comes. But I will say there are a lot of people who just get pets and they don't actually look after them in general. Not just like gums, but like, actually, are you feeding them?
Are you feeding them? Are you looking after them? Are you actually even training them properly? Are you, you know, and even training is another questionable thing, but still, again, like, are you providing the needs? There's certain needs that animals need. There's certain freedoms that they should be allowed and afforded. And are you doing those things for them is a real question.
So in your world, should none of us have pets, would you say?
It's a hard one.
And also, you've had a pet as well?
I have had a pet. Yeah, I have had a pet.
So
and these are stuff that makes me think more, because I think being in my work will make you ask a lot of questions.
Okay.
Because sometimes you see the worst of society, and sometimes you see some really difficult cases and things that you wish you could change. But then there's things in which it can always be better, right? And I think it's not that I don't think we shouldn't have a pet. I don't think it's that we shouldn't have pets. I just think we need to learn to respect the life that we're living with, right? So we're and this is something that I discussed with my friend, that we're not owners. It's not ownership. We're not dominating them. It's not, you do what I want you to do, you eat when I tell you to eat, and you sit when I do. It's not that. You're living with a sentient being. You want to respect the fact that the dog is the dog there, and you just want to look after it as best, and you can share that companionship. It's a responsibility, right? You have responsibility to make sure he's not hungry, make sure she's like able to wee, make sure she can do X, Y, Z. You know, you just want to look after them holistically, like actually looking after them,
as
not
if it was a human.
But it is the true thing of, like, you know, it's not even just like, it's just it's accepting that sentience of it. But that's a whole nother rabbit hole, because again, like, you know, eating meat and all these things, and so
let's get into the day to day. Tell me about your day to day. My day to day. How did today go for you?
Today was actually a pretty chill day as far as things go. I didn't operate today. I was the only vet on site. I'm a locum, so it means that I move around, different practices. I kind of just work when I want to, essentially, because I burnt out a few years ago.
Oh, gosh.
And so I took time out because this is something I love doing, and I want to find a way to practice doing it sustainably, a way that works for me. So I locum now. Today was chill, had vaccines, boosters, dogs that have vomited, dogs that have stopped walking. I had a few euthanasias, which is the hard part of the job, because that's end of life, and nobody really teaches you how to take life.
I've actually never thought about that part. I was thinking the hardest part of that is what's another word for owners?
Caretakers.
Caretakers, thank you. I'm thinking about their caretaker, they're losing their pet, but you actually are the one that has to do it. Yeah,
and you have to sit with that. There's a lot of things that happen in that moment, and that's why I have to be quite emotionally in tune and emotionally intelligent and aware of myself, because you are processing a lot of heavy emotions in 15 minutes. Everything's a 15-minute consult, right? So somebody can come in and their dog might not be walking, and I have to now, I'm looking at the clinical examination and I'm saying this is not going to be good. They're expecting some sort of positive outcome, but I have to immediately control that situation and be like, look, it's not what you expected it to be. And
do they teach you that when you're training?
They don't. And this is all bedside manner and personability, right? Because different vets have different ways of doing it, and some people don't have the social skills to be able to be like, this isn't You know, some people just like, yeah, you just gotta, yeah. But like, I try and be personal with people because I know how it feels, and I know that it's a hard decision, because a lot of the time, as much as I talk about like the should we have pets, I know that people are loving them and loving pets with all their might.
So much.
I know
that's part of their family.
Yeah, they really are putting everything into that pet. So I know what it's like when they get to that stage of should we cross the other side. And euthanasia is a really tough consult. It's not always tough, because sometimes you just kind of pack it away. And there's been times when I've had like 6 back to back, and there was one time when, an old lady asked me, she was like, where does it all go? And when she said, where does it all go? I swear to you, I just crumbled in front. I just started crying. I was just like, yeah, it just all hit me at once.
Really?
Like, she was like, how do you do, like, she asked me, like, how do you do this? Do you think, she was like one of the people that was asking a lot of questions in her grief, which is absolutely fair. But she was like, you know, how do you do this? I couldn't do this. I couldn't own a dog. How could you, like, you know, do this? Do you think they get better? Where does it all go? Because she'd seen some people cry. And when she told me where, because sometimes you just have to park it up because you've got so many consults. And she asked me,
awful, by the way.
it is really awful.
Where's
because
the
you don't get the time. Exactly. And when she asked me where does it go, I was just in tears. Like, and I'm quite transparent with it on my like socials and things. I do talk about it when it does affect me. But yeah, I was just like in tears. Or sometimes you just need to sit and digest it. The thing about emotions is they come and they go. They're like visitors, and you have to process them. You can't lock them away for too long, so you have to let them like do what they need to do. You need to cry, you need to process that full cycle, you need to go through that complete cycle, and then you can move on healthily. Because if you don't, it will come back up
in a way you probably don't expect to. You know, things build up, of course.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, euthanasia is always difficult. But then you have you have the puppy vaccinations, or you have the pets that you help get better, or you have the long-term clients that love to see you, and I love to see them too. Like, you know, they come in and we have like, you know, a little bit of gist, a little bit of banter, you know, and you know, we have that sort of rapport. And you have the clients that want to come back and see you, or you have the cases that you did surgery on that are feeling so much better, or the things that you fix. So there are super high highs, and then there's super low lows, and you know, there's sometimes frustrations. Some clients have frustrations, and they're out of you. You know, they might not like how much things cost, or surgeries also come with complications as well. Sometimes some surgeries wound breakdown and things like that, and you know, animals can get worse. So clients might have their own frustrations to vent about it and things. So, and what you don't realize is that with every animal comes attached a person, and that person has their own set of issues and things that they would also share with you quite willingly in a consult room. So quite quickly you become a therapist.
I was going to say, you must get
and so you have to learn how to you have to learn how to regulate your emotions. I'm quite naturally a positive person. I think one of my own personal gifts is that I'm blessed with an overflowing cup, so it's for me to share with other people. Like my joy is to share with other people, and so I'm quite happy to sit with people and discuss. Obviously I would shield myself if I think it's getting too much, but I'm very much open. I love to talk to people, and I feel like I don't like seeing, I feel like because I have felt places of pain in my life for emotion, when I see that emotion, I can't help but empathize with somebody, right? So with that, I want to help them work through it, or at least get a little better. Yeah, like I had a woman that had a panic attack on me today, bless her heart, because I told her that her dog wasn't doing too great, and she had a panic attack, and we had to just take the room, and we had to sit down and breathe for it. And like, you know, I was there, I was like basically on my knees holding her hands. And
how do you deal with that, especially because I know that you said 50 minutes consultations?
Yeah, 15 minutes, yeah.
I mean, I guess like a GP, right? Yeah. So scarily short, by the way.
Yeah.
They need to change that if they could. I know everyone's got pressured, but still, 50 minutes is such a short time to really get into it. Anyways, big time. How do you manage that when there is, it's timed?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, for me, I'm very much a person of I'll ignore the time.
Oh, okay.
So I have my systems in which there's certain things I can, if it's a routine vaccination or whatever, I can get through it very quickly. Yep. Take me 2 minutes. So that will give me extra time. But if there is something that requires time, I'm not going to rush it. If I have a euthanasia and somebody is trying to process their emotions, I'm not rushing them out of the consult room. I will say, look, you take this room and I'll move the other room. Or we'll just take it slowly and we'll talk. Everybody can wait. And the thing is that the reason why everybody can wait is because I will treat the next person exactly the same. Yeah. And that's kind of going back to when I told you about my retail line. You deal with one person at a time.
Yeah.
Like, and people will happily wait, but as long as they get the service that they expected. If they wait and then I'm now like, just fobbing them off halfway through their consult, okay, now you're going to be irate. But if I take the time, I don't mind staying late right? But
dedicated work right
but
there.
that's it.
But that's because that is because you work in your passion.
Exactly.